great.
essential to meet people online through these communities like the one you're building, Pandion, and like we've just become friends, we've become collaborators, and yeah. So how neat is this that we're here?
How neat. It is so neat. And I'm going to give you a little bit more about Kimera. So uh, Kimera is on a mission to reshape our idea of a music career. And you have 20 revenue streams such as remote studio gigging, sync licensing, a cappella licensing, sample packs, and plugins. And you're an authority, Chimera is an authority in the space of music, and you coach many people, many creatives, and you're constantly releasing helpful tutorials and for vocalists. And you're also, I think you're starting your own, you know, you have your own thing going, but you're opening it up more to more groups, aren't you? I think I heard that before. And so you record in Pro Tools and
Mm.
um, let's see, you uh, yeah, you could, yeah. So I think you have a link here, and we'll share that in the chat. Uh, so anybody who's interested in getting more after today, you can connect with Kimera, and you will, I think you'll just give us more information as we go on through today.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
do you want to add anything to what I started, like in your introduction, like maybe some more personal stuff on what got you started and what inspired you to get, further into teaching people, and also
Yeah.
your inspiration of doing your own vocal, production.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a journey. And well, how I got started in music, I mean, it's probably when I was 2 years old and I discovered that if you sing really loud into the staircase, it makes a cool sound. Like, and I discovered reverb. And so ever since I was little, I was singing. So I knew I wanted to be involved in music. I just had no clue. And, in 2004, when I was, starting to look into what do I do in college, like what do I go out for college, I was like, I needed to be music, but I have no idea. Like, how do you make a sustainable career in music? And I stumbled upon, I didn't even have a computer yet, but stumbled upon um, GarageBand. And I saw for the first time, putting loops together and you can make like a song. And I was like, this is incredible. I need to do this. And so I found out that maybe becoming a recording engineer would be like a sustainable career. I kind of was a realist and thought, well, I'll never be like a big pop star. That looks hard. I don't know how to do that. They don't teach that in college. So I'll just do this. And I'm really glad I did, because getting that skill under my belt just like opened a million doors. And we can talk about that later too, because that is why I'm now doing this learn to record challenge, where I'm teaching singers how to record themselves. Because I really think it's the first step to really like building a more sustainable music career.
Right.
So that's really how I got my start. And yeah, the more recent changes, when we met in 2020, and we met through the six-figure songwriting course, which was a course on writing for TV and film and advertising. And so we all wanted to learn more about how to up level our careers with sync. And since then, like, the web has just grown of like how many other music revenue streams are there. And like I went full time shortly thereafter in music in 2020. And in the last, sorry, that's a long answer, but I'm getting there. In the last basically 6 months, I would say I've been doing more music career coaching. And I've been seeing the common thread, which is singers want to build careers with their voice, but a lot of them don't know how to record. And that's just not sustainable to me. Like if you're trying to, get paid $300 to record a song, but you got to pay a recording engineer $250 to record you, it's like, it's never going to add up. So I really am just starting with the foundation here, which I think is to teach singers how to be able to record themselves. So
Yes, that's empowering too, because it's giving you back something that you love doing, and you can also feel free to spend as much time as you need before you hand it over to the producer, right?
oh, that's the best part. I love, honestly, this might be stemming from a fearful place, but whatever. We learn what we like and don't like, and I get terrible nerves in the studio when I'm trying to write a song in front of people and they're watching me, and I don't like singing in front of people. So I love that I have my own studio. Send me the instrumental. I'll do it in the comfort and privacy of my own home, and then I'll send it back to you when I've fixed all my mistakes.
Right. And I
You
remember
know,
you said that when we were singing in the live room at Death Studios at Death Star.
Death
Yeah.
Star.
Death Star. And I remember thinking, "Oh God, girl, you have quite a voice." I mean, I was right next to you, and your voice was
Love
just so
you.
lovely and amazing. So, but I hear you. I hear you. It's that comfort of like having something that you are, 100% behind. You did this. Here to the producer, this is what I want, and
Mhm.
and they don't even have to think twice about it. You kind of did everything
Yeah.
for them, and the
Well,
controls back with you.
some people are total extroverts and they love being in the studio together and bouncing ideas off of each other. So that's just me. I like
Yeah,
my
they
crowd.
both work. But I love that you have the option. You're giving people the option and yourself, and you're giving us another way to, pull the power back, and have that as a singer, I think singers, there's so many of us that are singers. I'm not going to make everyone raise their hand if you're a singer, but I'm a singer, and that's how I started off with as a musician myself, was singing and playing the guitar. And I think that maybe that's the thing, is everyone has their journey, and getting getting recorded in a studio, or getting recorded at home. I don't know, there's different, that brings out different things, I think. And so I feel like what you're offering is such a strong and amazing thing to all of us.
Thank
I'm gonna definitely check it out.
you.
Okay,
Yay.
but next question. You say you have a mission to reshape the idea of a music career. I think you touched on that already.
Mhm.
In what ways do you aim to do this? Maybe there's some other things you want to add to that.
Well, yeah, maybe I would start answering that by saying what I think that a lot of people assume their music career will be. Uh, at least for me, and most of my earlier network, uh, we were chasing getting signed and becoming Beyonce, and that, or we were chasing writing music and selling it to Beyonce. You know what I mean? So
Which could still
I, and I got really close. Let me tell you, like I actually got signed um to Sony straight out of
wow.
college as a songwriter, and being that close, to the industry, and even like, I worked with Rock Nation, I worked with Stargate, um and even just being that close, like the competition level is so brutal and heartbreaking and not sustainable, and it doesn't make sense to me why advances are getting smaller and smaller. Like back in, I don't know, the 90s, 2000, early 2000s, if you got a record deal, you got $1 million. Like, so that was like, a lot of people went hard for that dream. But now a record deal is like, I've seen them as low as 50,000, which
Right.
then you have to like pay the lawyers, pay the manager. At the end of the day, you know, you're like, wait, I quit my job for 20 grand. Like, that's not going to work. And now my life is signed away. So that's why I'm a little anti getting signed, because it's a pipe dream. It's not that sustainable. So, I went through the pain of like negotiating myself out of my contract. I had multiple lawyers looking at it, trying to get me out. Because one thing that they don't tell you is when you have a publishing deal with a major like Universal, Warner Chappell, you're signing any song that you write to them. So they own half, they get to decide what your music does. And even if, they didn't set your session up, like sometimes when you're brand new signed, they might like introduce you to other producers and get you in some cool rooms, maybe in with some newer artists, but that you're really on your own. And that's why they're like, you need a manager. So not only is the label going to take 50%, but now you have to give 20% to a manager. And it just becomes like so hard to make money. And you can't, so as we learned in the sync world and writing for TV and film, your best way, I mean, I think the easiest way in to start getting placements in TV and film is to go with a sync library or licensing agency. And when you're signed to a major, you can't do that. Like your publishing is already signed. So you can't work with licensing agencies. So for the entire time that I was signed to Sony, I wasn't actually able to pursue a sync career. So I kind of had to start over and build. So back to your question, how am I reshaping our idea of a music career? Because I've learned about certain avenues which are a little limiting and harder to sustain. And I've found other avenues to take, such as sync, such as licensing acapellas, such as, working with different brands, brand ambassadorships, all kinds of different revenue streams. And I have this, I'm going to send it to you guys. I have this like master list of revenue streams that I've put together. It's like 25. It's not the whole, it's not even all of them. It's like 25 revenue streams that you could go for.
Amazing.
It's when you start, down these rabbit holes and you start generating a little bit of income, you realize like you can be in control of your career. You can keep 100% and, or like song by song, like maybe you give it to a licensing agent, maybe they take 20 to 50%, but then you can stay in the studio and be creative. And I am an advocate for, yes, you may have 50% to go do the work that I don't want to do, and then I get emails like, oh, you got a placement. I'm like, great, this is fun, because I wouldn't have been able to do it on my own. So I do support our licensing agents and our sync reps and people like that. So yeah, my whole mission is just to help singers. And I mean, I don't want to say just singers, like a lot of what I talk about is singer focused, but it's relevant to producers and guitarists and all that too. But I just want people to start thinking about how they can set up sustainability within their careers and actually start to see revenue that is more realistic. And a lot of times it's just, put your eggs in a couple baskets so that you start receiving something while you still maybe try to get that song to Beyonce. Like you can still pursue the bigger dream. You can still pursue the record deal. But along the way, what if you also made money with music and you didn't have to do, waitressing, which is what I did forever, things like that. So I really want people to see that this is so possible. Like my life has changed forever. Like this is my studio. I'm in my own house and this is where I work and make 100% of my income.
Yeah, so so when you work with people or work with producers or work with maybe other collaborators, is your preference in person or do you like try to fly out and meet with them or do they fly out to meet you or do you do it digitally through Zoom and all of our new technology that we have like Session and Disco and everything. We use Disco anyway, but do you want to give us a peek into your your tips on finding collaborations and all of that?
Yeah. Well, I could tell you how I personally do it, but that's just the method that I've come up with that is comfortable for me. Like some people thrive off of that connection of being in the studio or maybe being on a Zoom collab, co-write. But me personally, I just like to work on my own. I don't have, oh, I'm gonna sound so bratty, but I don't have time to do like flying around for one song. Like
Right.
I record up to 3 songs a day, and I'm so
Amazing.
insanely busy right now that like I need it to just be like, email me, tell me what your references are, tell me, the direction, how is this going to generate revenue? What are we pitching it for? Or what's the project? And cool, give me all your details. I'll go write the song, record it, send it back to you. We'll mix it and it's done. Like I'm like, boom, boom, boom. We gotta go fast.
Oh, cool.
So,
So that sounds like you're
It's
working with a
good.
producer who is working with you, and you do the top line, send them the finished vocals after
mhm.
you found the reference and the whole the subject matter or the whole purpose of the song. I love that. You're working fast.
Yeah,
You're in a groove. I can see how that would work
yeah.
really well for you.
I
Yeah.
want to say something about it though. I'm at a place in my life currently where I still don't own a home. And so I have big financial goals right now. And so the way I work, uh, from the outside might look a little transactional. And music is a very passion driven thing. I am i am a little boom boom boom, but I love every minute of it. And there's no better feeling than listening back, like even when I get hired to sing someone else's song that they wrote and I'm just the demo singer, I still like enjoy it so much. But
Mm.
my bigger dream is to keep these residual revenue streams growing so that at some point I can take a breath and not do too many of the like work for hire demo singing, like working, because a lot of times it does feel like I am working on someone else's dream,
Right,
and but I'm getting paid for it. So that's worth it to me right now. But
right.
my big dream is to have continuous residual income so that I can just like take off to I just telling someone, I'm gonna rent us a castle in Scotland and we're going to bring a
Oh,
string quartet and we're going to bring our favorite songwriters and producers and we're going to make the best album of all time just for fun. And no like how's it gonna make us money? Like we can throw that out. We're just gonna create from love only. And so that is a big goal for me.
I love that goal. I'm gonna
Who
visualize that for you every day now.
wants to come to my castle in Scotland?
I do.
Let's go.
I do. I'm sure everybody in this room does.
That'd be
Um,
fun.
I have a
wow.
quick
So,
question.
yeah, go ahead.
Um, just for those who might not have already taken your free Learn to Record challenge, if someone's got next to no equipment and they really want to make this dream come true, like how does the course help them to do that? What do you go through in that free challenge?
It's actually that specific question is great because that's the point of the free challenge is I actually want singers who have no gear, no microphone even. You just need a set of headphones and a laptop just so you can see how possible it is to record from home. And then eventually, you start to add, you might be like, okay, this month I am going to save for a microphone and an interface, right? So, et cetera, et cetera. The Learn to Record challenge, by the way, this is the last time I'm doing it live. It's going to be on Monday. So if you want to learn how to record in Pro Tools, that's what that is all about. So I'm going to basically be teaching you how to use Pro Tools Intro, which is the free version of Pro Tools. Will be actually, you'll see me singing into my laptop internal microphone. And the neat part about it's kind of like a no gear challenge. And I'll show you how to do it all. As at the end, after you've recorded, I'm going to show you how to use some cool plugins, which would be like effects that you can put on your crappy recording to make it sound affected and cool. Like, do you remember that song, all the other kids with the pumped
Oh,
up?
yeah. I love that. Love
If,
that
if
song.
you recall, that song has tons of effects on the vocal. Like the vocal sounds almost poor quality. Like he could have recorded that into his phone and then put these cool like delays and lo-fi effects. So we're gonna do something like that just so we can see and how it feels to be recording ourselves. And I just am excited to like blow people's minds with how easy it is, because it's actually not. I even made a PDF that has like, here are your 12 steps, and at the end you'll have a song. Like
Wow.
it's not even that hard. So yeah, this is for even my non-tech savvy friends. Like, come on by. It is in Pro Tools, so a lot of people do ask, like, can I do it in Logic? I've decided to say it's probably not going to work, because I'm really a step-by-step person. Like, click this button and then this button, and so the buttons won't be the same in like Logic or Ableton. So yeah, Pro Tools Intro is a free version of Pro Tools.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that,
actually
that
learned.
would.
Sorry, Rebecca, carry on.
Go ahead, Carly.
No, I was to say I watched the first. I actually had the flu, but I was like, I've signed up to it, so I'm going to watch the first recorded lesson. And I used Pro Tools, and I actually learned some icons that I hadn't been using most effective
Nice.
in the most effective way. So even though like I thought I knew what I was doing, I was like, oh, I didn't realize that did that. So you can learn lots of different things. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
There's a million bazillion buttons in that program. So,
There's
and
a
you
different
don't
ways
have
to
them
do the same thing, isn't there?
all.
So, what advice would you give a vocalist who wants to start recording from home but doesn't know where to start? I think you just answered that, but like, what if they can't take your class? Watching, like, they're rewatching this as a replay.
Well, so like if someone sees it after it's already passed,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say your first step is to go to Avid Pro Tools website and download the free version of Pro Tools, which is called Pro Tools Intro. And you really can just start messing around. I mean, that's where I would say step one is, and like you truly can start playing with it before you even buy a microphone or before you buy an interface or things like that. You can get started. But if you can, please join the free workshop, because like I'm really going to show you everything to get started.
We'll encourage everyone to try to, yeah, we have a delay reaction with some of these, some of our members. Oh, I missed Kimera, and like, oh no, I missed her workshop. So I just want to make sure. But it sounds like you'll have some stuff online that they can rewatch after, like replays maybe?
So I haven't decided.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I might just have it exclusively to whoever did sign up on time. So
That's
and
good.
whoever did sign up on time, our calls are at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I realize that is like prime work time for a lot of people. So I'll be posting the replays, and I'll have the replays available for up to a week after the
Okay.
courses.
So they can sign up, and even if they miss it, they can watch the replay that way. Okay, that's a good way to do it. And then I have another question about your courses. I started off saying you might be planning to open it up and maybe charge people, give direct, like, like group class kind of instructions. Are you still planning to do that?
At this time, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do the live instruction, but I have a course that's so that like the Learn and Record Challenge, the learning part is actually only an hour. So you learn how to record in an hour, and then we do like troubleshooting Q&As, and then we do like a listening party and prize giveaways. But so it's basically a week. That's the free workshop. which is like the basics of getting started with recording. After that, if you'd like to really like become like more professional grade recording engineer for yourself, I have an 8-week course because there is a lot to cover. We have to cover all the billion buttons. So, so that's an 8-week course. And yes, it is available to sign up for.
Okay, wonderful. Because I think that, anybody who really wants to go and blast off and take this, to the next level it up could be for them.
Yeah, I should mention too, because you said like, do I do live group instruction? I don't, but I am doing some like one-on-one instruction. So there is the 8-week course is evergreen style. I've pre-recorded videos, which I think is honestly for something this technical is really the best way, because you can press pause. Like if I'm just talking during class, you can't pause me. So I think it's easier to learn this subject matter pre-recorded, but then you can also sign up for a one-on-one Zoom call with me, just us two talking. And then I also offer an option to do unlimited Voxer chat. Do you know what Voxer is? It's basically
Yes.
an app with texting and voice messages. So for the
Like
8 weeks,
walkie-talkie style.
yeah. So for the 8 weeks, anytime you run into a question, I want you to send me a Voxer so we can get over the speed bumps together and like get you really, really supported and learning this information.
Yeah, that's great. I see some questions coming in on the chat, and we'll get to those in a bit. Let me just go through with Kimera, try to get as much as we can in our so you covered your
Great.
courses.
This is fun.
Go ahead.
I said this is fun.
Yeah, this was fun. And there was a question that we had that we were going to ask you about. Do you want to explain how you handle your vocal chain at all in terms of how you start? Maybe, I don't know if that's something you want to talk about now, or if you want to wait till somebody signs up for your free course, but that could be an interesting way to, everyone does their own version of that. That's probably more for your
Yeah.
class.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, I do not even go into vocal chains in the free workshop. I think that's a little more advanced. I do definitely go deep into it in my course.
Right.
But sure, just to give you my like order of plugins, I can totally do that. I always put my de-esser first. Then I put my EQ, and then I put compressor. Then I have, now I'm starting to forget.
Do you do the vocal tuning?
So I put that not, so I guess we all have different definitions of a vocal chain as well. What I'm describing is what I put on my lead auxiliary or my vocal auxiliary tracks,
Got it.
which would be the plugins that are like tone shaping. I use Vocal Writer by Waves. I like that one a lot. And I use a limiter. But yeah, so those are like my tone shaping plugins. If I'm using auto-tune, I put it directly on the vocal track itself.
Right.
And yeah, so I'm not busing my vocal to an auxiliary with auto-tune and maybe multiple voices fighting for that one auto-tune's attention. I put one auto-tune on every track. And and then I bus my special effects, time-based effects, to their own channels, and I control those with sends off my auxiliaries. This is getting confusing already.
No, but it
go through it in the course.
Yeah, it gives it a nice, like, I think it gives us a nice idea of like that you have a standard, and that's great. Like
Yeah.
I feel like and that's important. I have one more question about tuning. Do you sing with the vocal tuner or without? Because some people do one or the other.
It depends on how you have it routed. If you have it routed so that when you record through your mic and through auto-tune, that it prints it to the track. So it's like auto-tune is burned into that vocal take. Absolutely not. I don't do that. because then you have no way to edit it. I put
Right.
autotune on after.
That's, yeah, that makes the most sense. And you have, if you're using Pro Tools, you're getting a really good audio recording. That's great. Yeah, that's all really good. When you send your vocals off to an engineer, do you mix them yourself or do you let them mix them? Do you do a little prep before?
It's a mixed. I would say 80% of the time they want to mix it. So what I usually do when I send someone to like check it out, I'll send them an MP3 with basically my template mix. So I don't really spend much time mixing it, but I already have a template where it's like kind of pre-mixed. So it sounds pretty decent. And then that way they could hear roughly what a mix would sound like. And then if it's all good and we don't need to make any changes, then I'll send them the raw, dry stems and then they can mix it. But sometimes they'll say, I like your mix. So I'll just send them a wave, 24-bit, 48K acapella, or maybe I'll separate the reverb delay and stuff onto its own separate track. So maybe they can turn it down if they want. But yeah, so I would say about 80% of the time they want to mix it.
Amazing. Yeah.
Which is good
Yeah.
to know for singers who are getting into like demo singing and want to get hired to sing or hired to songwrite and use their vocals. Most of the time clients, they're hiring you to be the singer. Then they don't actually expect you to also be a mixing mastering engineer.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
totally chill to not be like a full-on mixing engineer. And I don't consider myself to be one either.
That's a great, excellent point. And I think that, it seems like most producers want it dry so that they can do the fancy, like little great additions, when they're doing their mix. And I think
Yeah.
that it just depends. Yeah, because if you put any kind of effect, then they can't take it out. So dry, clean vocals, great. So then the last thing before we open it up to questions in the chat, I know you use platforms to promote yourself as a singer, and I know I think you use SoundBetter. Are there any
Yeah.
other platforms you like to get gig opportunities, and how do you like SoundBetter?
SoundBetter is my breadwinner. Oh, sorry, there's an airplane going overhead. SoundBetter has been, absolutely life-changing. But it does come with some limitation. If you're just getting started, I would, recommend getting your profile all perfect, making sure you do the cringy name drops of anybody potentially famous that you served coffee to once. Like they love that stuff. Worked with. No, I'm just kidding. But SoundBetter has a long wait list to become a pro provider. So I say everyone apply to be premium, and you won't, there is like a monthly fee, but you won't get charged until you get accepted. And I just want to say, everyone, it is worth the wait. We have a lot of years ahead of us. Like their wait is so long now. I know a girl who just got accepted. She put her application in 2 years ago, but she's been the #1 singer for the last couple of weeks and she's making bank now. So it's worth the wait. In the meantime, while you're waiting to get accepted on SoundBetter, I recommend Air Gigs. That would be my second favorite. Air Gigs is a website very similar, but you would put up an ad for your services and they're in categories. So if a client goes, they can look at the singer's page. And the cool thing about Air Gigs is everyone really gets a chance to be seen, because once you buy an ad, you go to the top of the list and you're on top of the list only as long as other people aren't buying more ads. And so I would say that I've gotten good visibility for one ad for about a month long. So I recommend Air Gigs. It's definitely not getting as much traffic as SoundBetter, but I mean, one $45 ad And if you get one gig that you're charging like $350 for, I would say that was a worthwhile investment, right? So even if you only get one job, they also have a job board. There's another website called Vocalizer. I don't super love it. You have to be a member, but I think it's only like $12 a month. I don't love it because it's kind of a culture of driving the prices down by way of bidding. So clients will post the job that they have, and then singers can publicly bid on it. And so you get to see what everyone else is trying to get paid. And I say, just, be bold, put a good price up. Like, don't just lowball unless you're, really just trying to get started, getting some reviews. That's fine. But Vocalizer is another one. Yeah, I know some people have success on Fiverr. I couldn't hang. Fiverr was obnoxious to me, but I know someone who's like actually crushing it at Fiverr. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of Fiverr. Yeah, so this is all really fantastic information, and I think that anybody who's getting started as a singer who wants to, make income, you've given a lot of gems for this, and I'm going to open it up now for questions. I think I saw a couple from Andreas. What first one?
Yeah.
Kimera, I remember you being the queen of monikers. Do you still keep that up, or have you narrowed down the focus?
No, I still use the monikers. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not, they're kind of just like a silly thing. Like, if a client or a sync agency happens to want to put the song out, then I tell them which moniker to use. But it's not like I'm actively like promoting each individual artist name as like a project to try to get popular. It's more just a little tool just to like keep a cool, a cool image about each genre. But yeah,
Right.
I still use them for sure.
That's great. Speaking of genre, so how many, I mean, do you feel comfortable telling us how many different genres you cover?
I don't know. I think I have 7 monikers. I might have more than that. But okay, there's the straight pop, there's the EDM. Kimera V is my new EDM moniker, and I've already got like 500,000 views on that one.
Wow.
I've done a synthwave album. Trailer music is my favorite. Trailer-ish video game music is like my ultimate favorite at the moment. And then I also have folk projects, geez, R&B, indie pop, like, I don't know. Gosh, there's so many. And then there's scoring, which is a whole animal in itself. Kind of texture vocal music, super cool. Yeah, it's a lot.
So creative.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's great. You're in the perfect position for that. The way you set it up, and you're what an
It's such a
inspiration you
building
are.
process.
Right.
I think I have a baby face and I look super young, but I'm 35 and it took me 12 years to make anything at all happen. So, so
You
don't
have a
give
baby
up.
face, and you do look very
Consequence of
glamorous.
not giving up is making it somewhere.
I noticed that your social media is very active, and you're very, very good about doing that and giving in, instructional guidelines and giving little tips all the time. So that kudos to you. That's really good.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
happy
enjoying your Instagram. I love
for
it.
you.
Okay, good. I'm glad someone is. I told my family that they have permission to unfollow me because every day posting. It's been
It's
really
great.
fun. And uh, I touched on this earlier about how sometimes the music can be a little transactional for me. Part of why I'm posting so often is, oh my gosh, there's nothing more soul nourishing for me than sharing some of my knowledge and someone like it making a difference to someone. So I'm really enjoying and feeling so like cup is full, like heart is full, seeing the response from my little tips. So I'm going to keep them coming.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Gary asks, your experience and insights sound like they would be very valuable to vocalists. It's an awesome idea for online course. And I agree, Gary. It's not really a question, but I wanted to highlight that because that's really a nice shout out to Kimera. Carly, you want to ask your question?
Yeah, I think you kind of touched on it because you've got your Instagram with all your tips. And the question is, do you have any tips for how to soundproof your home, either temporary structures or more permanent structures? And I did see you had a video which I watched showing how
Oh,
you made your panels. So I don't know if you want to speak to
yeah,
that a little bit.
for sure. Well, first off, for about 10 years, I sang in closets. It was always all about the closets. You know, when you want to get a good sound recording vocals, it's all about reducing the amount of reflections off of walls. So if you don't have a closet full of clothes that you can go into, your next defense is maybe to try to get further away from walls, stand more in the middle of your room. But yeah, if you can find a small space or a corner to put up some kinds of fabric or something, that would be a good start. But if you are willing to do like my crazy DIY project, I've made my own acoustic panels. This is my booth, so this is a panel. If it's like about 2 inches thick, what it is Owens Corning insulation panels that are it's called 703. And if you call like, an insulation company, you can ask like, hey, do you have 703 2x4 panels? I'll come buy some off of you. Then it's wrapping it with fabric. That's how I did it. I have a blog post where I gave you like the step-by-step and all the tools you'll need. There are, you see a lot of studios with these pieces of foam, the foam,
Yeah,
like jagged.
the jagged. Yeah.
Thing is, like, people spend a lot of money on those panels and they don't do very much. All those really do is absorb the higher frequencies. So honestly, it's not gonna, like, the difference with the insulation material is drastic. Like, this is way better. So I just think they tend to look cool, and that's it.
Yeah.
Behind me, I've got some diffuser panels. So what's happening is, like, as my sound waves hit them at all these different angles, it just diffuses the sound. So it's not so like echoey, like straight like this. It's a little more spread. So the room echo isn't as intense. So
Yeah. That's awesome. So if somebody wants to find out more from you, do they sign up to your website, or if they sign up for the free challenge, do they get put onto your newsletter so that they can maybe see these blogs? Or
yeah, for sure. And if you don't feel like the recording challenge is for you, but you still want to connect with me, you can just go to my website and like fill out the contact form, and or there's a subscribe to my newsletter button on my page somewhere, and yeah, you can do it that way. I sent out a newsletter about this meeting, so I think maybe
I
people
saw
showed
it.
up from my email list. Yeah.
Thank you.
Please contact me. Please follow me on social media, and keep in touch. Yeah, I love connecting with everyone, and I mean, I think I already am following a lot of you. So happy to see you. Yeah.
Would anybody like to ask Kimera any questions right now? We can let you just ask her just verbally. You don't have to use the chat if you don't want to.
We have one in from Rose in the comments.
Okay, Rose.
Rose, did you want to ask in person?
Sure. Hi, Kimera.
Hi, Rose.
This is just very encouraging because I'm coming into this later with singing and recording, and just your story and staying with it and encouraging others is huge. And thank you, Rebecca and Carlos, for creating Pandion, which is supporting musicians. And there's so many great people in here. Vicky,
So
Lynn,
fun. Rose, you have an epic bookshelf behind you, that is when I see things like this, I'm like, she's got a diffuser wall just like me,
Diffuser?
but it's made of books.
I was a high
Exactly.
school teacher, so that's where, yeah. But I wanted to ask you, what is it about trailer music that you find, or video trailer music that you really like? What is it about
Oh,
that?
I mean, it makes me feel like I can fly. It's just like big, epic, soaring vocals. It's so much fun to sing, really. Hmm.
Thank you.
Actually, I haven't even announced it yet on social media yet, but I have let me find it and send you a link. But I have a new trailer album that just released. And this is cool because quick fun story. When I met a lot of you, here, let's see. When I met a lot of you at Six Figure Songwriting, like 3 days, like a week into the start of the class, I got my first trailer placement. And now this album, like 3 years later, is finally out. It's called Tomorrow is Waiting, and you'll see. You got to listen to it, and you can tell that I'm having like just the most fun singing, and like I'm like levitating as I'm singing. It's so fun.
Wow, amazing. I can see you shared it in the chat,
Yeah,
something.
that's the album.
Okay, we'll take a listen
Hmm.
and follow it. That's great, exciting. It looks like Gary has a question.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Kimera.
Hey.
It's great to see you. I really enjoy your story about how you came to this awareness so young. It's sort of, you said you came out of college, and of course experience had a lot to do with that too. But just for people that are starting out, I'm sure it's inspirational to them to have your insights at this point, help guide them as well. And I was just wondering how you came to that so young. It just seems like it's very like a very serious kind of way of looking at things, that you wanted to do music, but you saw that the path, and it was sort of it wasn't clear, and you said, I got to find the way that works for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, and to quote our lovely Cinder Shine, follow the open doors, and following each little breadcrumb. Yeah, I don't necessarily have the entire path laid out before me, but I know at least what a good first step is. And I just went for it. I'm really grateful and lucky that I have a supportive mom. When I told my mom I wanted to go after music, she was like, okay. She was always a yes. I know not everyone has that, and I know that a lot of people are starting to let a music career become like a second career, and that is totally great. I think that, and I started this in 2005, or yeah, started college in 2005. So there are a million new resources that are available now that weren't available when all of us were starting our careers. So yeah, maybe it was harder to start a career back then, but now it's not as hard. Like, there are more avenues that are available. So it's never too late. And yeah, I am glad that I started early, but it took me, I was writing aimlessly for 12 years. I didn't know what I was doing. But now that I do know, I'm like, Eureka, like, did you guys hear about this? Like, you can do something with your music. There's possibility here. And I don't believe in scarcity mindset. There's enough for everyone. Like, all the gatekeepers need to stop that. Like, there's abundance for all, and we can all share this information. There's plenty for everyone,
That's
Wow.
great. I love that you shared this with other singers, and just your overall perspective on things is very refreshing.
Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome.
Were we in the same cohort? Did I meet you
No, you were a mentor
in
We did-
2021?
yeah, we Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
That's where
yes, yes.
yeah.
Cool.
Yes, there's a few of us in the same cohort that I see in this chat, yeah, and, or this Zoom meeting. So
Yeah.
Kamira, we just like, you're so generous with your, optimism and, we can, opening it up for everyone who feels like this was their dream and they can do this. And I feel like that's what Pandion Music Foundation is about.
Mm.
And we want to help support that. So anytime, any way, if you have any vision, and you see, especially, someone just starting off, any age, and they need some support, you can send them our way and maybe we can work out a partnership with you at some point.
Absolutely. And I again, like how there are more resources available today than there were back then, Pandion was just born. So more and more resources to come through what you guys are doing. I really appreciate your mission. And, I get teary because I'm just like, I didn't have a community like this. I didn't have uh, a Pandion that had all these free workshops for me to like find my way. I had to just like find my little ropes here and there and like try to find my way in. And so you're making it so much easier to, you're giving us the hints of which way to go. And I just really love that. You guys are doing amazing.
Thank you, Kamara. We're so blessed to have found each other and just have the inspiration to do something for the community and also something that we all love. And that's being like, the more we get to be with you all, our community, and expand it. And we're expanding it. We're getting,
Yeah.
we're getting more members and it's exciting. But we just want to thank you so much for your time today. And are you on the Ask Me Anything?
Yeah.
Oh, great. So Kamara's offering generously Ask Me Anything for 2 days, and we'll use that. And yes, let's see, Andreas, maybe we'll ask Kamira to send us all the links and we'll put that on the Facebook chat post.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that everyone has an opportunity to link in with your music and what you're offering to the world.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, have a fantastic, beautiful rest of the day, wherever you're at, or night. And cheers, and we'll see you next time.
Okay. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Blessings. Bye.